Grand Rising. Today is Wisdom Wednesday, and this is your Shekinah Wisdom podcast. Today, my lovelies, I want to talk to you about the importance of, I don't know how much I could stress the importance of knowing that life happens for you, not to you. We face challenges in life, right? We go through different experiences, face challenges in life. And sometimes we feel like giving up and not moving on because what we envisioned for ourselves did not come out the way that we desired it to. But what if I told you the reason why that happened is because the vision that you had for yourself wasn't big enough? Did you ever think about that? Maybe what you were asking for was not enough for a person of your stature. And if you look at it from that perspective, how would you face life? How would you face your challenges then? Knowing that those events that did not work out in your life were purposely designed for them not to work out. Because those were leveling up lessons to get you where you're going. It's easy to give up and say, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. Don't feel any guilt that you're not expanding at the rate that you think you should be expanding at. Because everything happens in a perfect symbiotic balance. And when you realize that, you can start working on what you're supposed to be working on at this very moment, which is loving you. Sometimes we feel guilt that we're not growing at the rate of people around us. And it's for a reason. I promise you, when you look back at situations that you find yourself in today, before, or look at other ones who face those same obstacles, guess what? And this too shall pass. Know and understand that when you're going through any trial or tribulation in your life, you have to know and understand that this too shall pass. When you place yourself in victim mode, you won't grow from that space, right? Because in order for you to be in victim mode, you have to have a constant replay of past events and be stuck in that mode. But as you shift past that space, because sometimes the blockages in your life are self-imposed. Our own thoughts and ideologies could keep us from what we truly desire. Sometimes those thoughts are grounded in fear based on our previous experiences. Like, I don't want to go through that again. So now you walk around imprisoned by your past. Is that the life you want for yourself? Know and understand some things are not part of your quest. And know that that's okay. And know that when you reach that point where you're unknowing that there's a dead end there, don't just sit down and cry about it. You get up, you turn around, and you find the proper route. Your impatience is usually what leads you into unsavory situations. And then you start operating on autopilot, not trusting your intuition, and then you want to blame love. You want to blame love that you missed all the infractions, the disloyalty, the lack of integrity, all of that. And then when your life becomes imbalanced, now you want to gossip about your situation. But you saw all of this stuff happening. Then you become filled with grief because you realize that you've been wearing a mask this whole time. And it's important for you to remove that mask and come out of isolation. Know and understand that you are perfect. You're perfectly perfect. Those ideals that people told you that you were supposed to meet, that's not true. What you're supposed to meet is your happiness. Because as you are happy and passionate, and you pour that happiness and passionate into your projects and your family and your friends and your businesses and whatever you have going on, you will see a change in your happiness. You'll be fulfilled. Did you ever think that maybe the reason why you're not expanding is because what you're giving to? You know, we are not to give to every and anything that's around us, right? Because when you give, there's an energy exchange also. That same energy exchange that can happen during sex, that can happen through bodily contact, that energy exchange is what happens when you give to people. And if you're giving to people who don't deserve your love and kindness, don't expect optimal results from that, right? That self-sacrificing love should go to those that truly deserving of it. I had to learn to love with setting conditions on the distance between me and the object of my affection. And when you do that, it's less likely that you are creating a scenario where you are not expanding, right? You're not growing. Let go of any insecurity. Know that where you are right now is where you're supposed to be, and hold your head high in the midst of these things. Self-discovery is key, right? All of the stuff that people have been doing in the world, like let's say manipulation of energy. Sometimes you just have to let things go, but by its natural flow. Part of the problems that we have in the world is too much energy manipulation. No one knows how to just be. People get triggered and then they feel that they need to start manipulating other people around them. And when you see that, know that, until that person goes through a recovery process, there's not going to be growth. And as you recover from the things that you are going through and realize that you have been victimized in the situation, you don't play the role of victim. You shift from victim mode and walk into survivorhood, right? Surviving all of the trials and tribulations that you've gone through. What usually leads to heartbreak is ignoring the signs and symbols around you. Ignoring your intuition. Not knowing and understanding your purpose on this planet. Sometimes you just have to go out there and just do. Just do what you have been dying to do all of this time. That's what following your passion is all about. What are you pouring your energy into? Is it fulfilling? Or do you have to go back to the drawing board? These are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. Do what truly makes you happy. Finances are not what makes you happy. It's what the finances could provide you the access to is what you truly desire. So instead of asking about finances, why not ask about what it is that you truly want to do with those finances? My lovelies, your life is about your happiness and fulfillment. It's not all about, misery, pain, life lessons. There is a level up process too. And I want you to be able to love you enough to discover every facet of who you are. What drives you? What motivates you? What nurtures you? What are you repulsed by? Once you know yourself, it is easier to interact with people in the world. Why? Because early you know what your boundaries are. And you also know how to set them and respect them. Respect your own and respect others. If people are not showing you that they are worthy to be in your presence because they lack integrity, their character has a lot of flaws that they're unwilling to work on, know that that's okay. It's okay for you to enact healthy boundaries. If you don't, it's dangerous. But in enacting those, in setting those boundaries, right? Make sure that you are not imprisoning yourself within those same walls. Make sure you have a door so people, experiences, events, or whatever is necessary that will bring you joy has access to come in. When you go through a hurtful time, it's easy to shut down like, I don't want to be bothered with anyone. But that is a disservice to you. Why? Because what's for you is on the other side of that wall. And since you didn't build the door, it cannot get in. I want you to think about this in terms of your relationship. How many times have you built walls around yourself with no doors and get mad at people for not being able to come into your space? You know, when you've gone through hurt, it's so easy to shut down. Like, you know what? I don't want to be bothered. I don't want to feel that pain anymore. But what if I told you on the other side of that wall you built is the antiseptic? It is the healing elixir that's on the other side of that wall. So you have to remove all of those walls, or at least create a door so those experiences can enter. Now, if you need further support on your healing journey, head over to ShekinahWisdom.com where you can book an appointment. If you want art therapy, head over to IAM_collection.com. And if you simply want to support the work we do here, you can cash out Unearthing the Truth. All right, my lovelies, you have a wonderful, happy, wisdom-filled Wednesday.